What's up, everybody? Jesse Durham here from Durham Talents, where you can learn how to live and leave a lasting legacy. I'm coming to you with something a little different. I'm recording something on my phone because I need to get this project out ASAP. I've actually already recorded 2 installments in a new playlist, a new project here on the channel. It's an IBC roundtable. It's an Infinite Banking Roundtable where I will be inviting other professionals from the space, maybe consumers as well, clients as well. It's just a roundtable that we can come to together as a hub and discuss things. We can share successes, share hardships, share best practices, ask questions, listen to conflicting perspectives, perhaps get better. It's a place for us to be able to come to, an infinite banking Camelot, if you will, and you're going to hear from some familiar faces, some new faces, and it's for me, my growth. It's for yours, of course. I just think that we're better together. There are some things that over the past 10 plus years of implementing infinite banking, I have asked other people questions. I have learned from other folks, and I've talked through some things, and it's been helpful, and I'm going to be facilitating that for everyone, just putting it out there. So I wanted to give you some kind of an introduction. I was actually having a conversation with my buddy Joe. We were discussing the American dream, and he asked me about something that you're getting ready to see that had already been brewing in me for a couple of weeks at least, and this video is going to be an inside look at that unfolding in real time. So I'm going to get that put out there to you. Just be a bit of an open book to you. Comment in there. Let me know the things that you would like to see coming up in the future, questions you'd like to ask, things you'd like us to talk through. Hopefully this is making a lot of sense. I'm excited about it. I read the King Arthur books as a kid. I've already read those by Howard Pyle, if you must know, to our children. And this idea of a round table where we are out there in the world doing real life quests, you on your quest, whatever it is that you're doing in life. But infinite banking is a hub of that for you. It's your Camelot, it's your fortress. Well, I want to be able to facilitate roundtable discussions around infinite banking and everything that involves. Here is the birth of that project in real time. I hope that you enjoy.
I had an idea for you, and I don't know. I know you've got a lot of different like channels and sub channels on your thing. So I don't know if this interferes or but if you had like a mini like panel review of some concept, like you just mentioned, Liz was talking about XYZ. Is anyone in your circle like talking directly about becoming your own banker? And would anyone like kind of like we do a Tuesday, but just have like a couple people, just a couple, to go over something?
All right, run the idea by me again.
For your podcast to have almost like a panel review, and I would love to be a part of it, but it doesn't have to be
like
me.
A panel discussion.
Panel discussion. So you got, maybe it's just your clients, or you have somebody like me on with you, and somebody else, like you had Coach on there. He seems like he does this too, like maybe sort of agents or clients or a mix of both, to say, all right, today we're going to talk about like imagination or the CD sisters. Let's see how we go through this. How are you thinking about this? What do you think about that? And kind of like bouncing ideas off, just like we do here. Just, I don't know if that's another thing worth your time, but
that's so that's so interesting that you bring that up, because maybe for 2 weeks now, I've had this idea of a round table type discussion. If I put it in my own words, I mean, that's what I've, for about 2 weeks now, I've maybe mentioned it to one other guy, my buddy Jeremiah Dew here from the Cash Compound, the same studio headquarters and everything that I'm in. I mentioned to him about that because I feel like as a consumer myself, that's a great thing for a consumer, because you could have half a dozen different opinions or takes or perspectives on a subject that's interest. And when I say subject, I mean like a subsection of infinite banking, like passive income later in life, or, equipment finance, or just fill in the blank, whatever the thing, the question, the theme is, but having a round table perspective of, well, I do this, or I think that, or is that sounding pretty close to what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
So I am very open to facilitating something like that. I'm very open to that. Yep, I'm very open to that conceptually. So let me know any more thoughts that you have about it. I will have my thoughts and views about people that I would interview or record with has changed since I started my podcast, since I started the YouTube channel. In the beginning, I presumed I'll only ever have clients on. That was my thinking, maybe when I first started. It wasn't very long before I thought, well, you know what? Just like I've had different mentors in this space over time that have been in the way longer than I have, and I've benefited from conversations with them, you know what? So would the wide world. So I need to have other professionals on here. But then I still feel pretty particular about who I would have on. I don't mean that in a judgmental way against anybody, right? Like I would have a discussion with anybody, but I also care who speaks to my clients. And I know that it's not just my clients that listen to the show and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like both those things are important to me at the same time. And, you could take that with a grain of salt, especially knowing that I'm not an authorized IBC practitioner as of today. You know what I mean? I'm a guy out here trying to do it the best way that I know how, giving honor where it's due, not trying to claim anything as my own, but just be, a great quality voice that's out here spreading the word of the opportunity to become your own banker, right? So yeah, I guess I'm just sharing some of my thoughts with you in general about, the channel and podcast and having a conversation and a panel and a round table. I love the idea of a round table. I think about stuff like that when it comes to even my own family meetings and stuff. My family's been having family meetings because me and my one brother that does do infinite banking with me about 5 years ago or so, we came to the decision that we wanted to have family meetings, and we wanted to make IBC a big cornerstone in what family meetings meant for us and not all my siblings are on board. They don't have policies. They don't pay premiums. They don't get it or whatever. They probably just show up out of, a sense of unity or whatever, but they're not practicing infinite banking. And for me, that's the cornerstone and one of the big purposes behind family meetings and such. But I still have this round table type approach there as well. So I don't know. I'm talking a lot. Is that helpful? Is that, are you?
Yeah, so. Yeah, absolutely. It just occurred to me as we were talking and you brought up Liz, it stuck in the back of my mind. And I was like, I don't know if I was for the right client, to your point, or even the right practitioner. Some practitioners are all about, or even just agents in general, are all about controlling their narrative and their whatever they put out into the world. They're not really open to just a discussion that's not very planned, because anything could come up. But for the right client, for the right person who's your guest on the call, I think that'd be really valuable, because there's something about the organic inspiration when people are talking about a topic and where that kind of goes that will let people, I say let people exhaust themselves. So if you had a client that was really struggling with the CD sisters, maybe after watching our next video, it all clicks. But maybe they need to wrestle with it like Jacob, with someone to say, but what about this? And that person has the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, what about that? And they have the answer. Not,
Yeah, I got you.
but just guiding through this, letting them exhaust all their, I'll say excuses, but all of their predisposition towards this topic. And when they finally see it, it's the light comes on.
All right, so let's do this. I need to get ready for this next appointment, but I also want to act on this while I'm thinking about it. So I appreciate you bringing it up. And it's just interesting that I've been thinking on it for a couple of weeks in the back of my mind. It's one of those, like, yeah, that's one of the interesting things of having started a YouTube channel is, you know, there's a part of me that feels like at different points, like, man, I'm going to run out of things to say. I've never run out of things to say. There's so many more projects and additions that I want to make. It's like you get further down the road and then you actually expand on what, you know. So I love having good conversations about serious subjects. That's just me. I don't care to talk about the Eagles and the weather and stuff. Sorry, Joe. I don't care about the Eagles. I don't care about the Eagles.
You didn't see Saquon Barkley jump over?
Don't even know who you're talking about. Don't
man.
care. Don't care. Don't know who you're talking about. Don't know no players. Don't know no coaches. Nothing. I love having serious conversations. So I'm open to seeing who could join us for next Thursday's call, if you say so. Whether that's, you know, I reach out to Becca and see what she's got or whoever. And if you've got somebody in mind, I'd love to hear who you've got in mind or whatever. Okay. Awesome. Appreciate you, Joe. Enjoyed the time with you, man.
Likewise.
Always
a pleasure. Always a pleasure. You too.
So that's it. We're going to have an Infinite Banking Roundtable here. It's going to be an ongoing project on the channel. If you have questions, again, put those in the comment section. I will read those. If you have topics you would like to see fielded, we will address those. If you have no idea, or this is your first look at the channel or Infinite Banking, you need to check out my introductory presentation to Infinite Banking. I teach people how to live and leave a lasting legacy. I highly encourage you to check that out. To reach me, you can find me at durhamtalents.com. We'll talk soon. Have a great day. Take care.